Hi, this is my first video with voiceover. Please be kind. Today we're gonna meal prep. I did this meal prep in 2 days. So on Thursday and Friday, the children went skiing and snowboarding, and we stayed at home. The cafeteria at school doesn't serve any vegan options, so if they want something warm to eat during lunch, they have to bring their own. In this meal prep, I made crispy chicken with green beans and puree, noodles with tofu, and a real Belgian dish, vol au vent. Enjoy! First, I'm gonna cut up some potatoes and then season them with turmeric, black pepper, onion powder, garlic powder, and coat them very well. Then I'm gonna set them aside for a few minutes and bake them in the oven for 20-25 minutes in the convection setting on 200 degrees Celsius. And this is 1 kilogram of tofu. I'm gonna slice it up and then put it inside some paper towels and place it under my cutting board so that most of the water will be out. In the meanwhile, I made some teriyaki sauce. You can see it in the blender there. And it's made of soy sauce, tomato paste, tahini, and some ginger and maple syrup. And then I'm gonna cut up the tofu in bite-sized pieces and pour the sauce over it, but not all of it. You just want extra to serve aside. Well, we always do. And now we're gonna prepare a vol au vent, and first we need some kneadable minced meat, and we're gonna season it with white pepper, nutmeg, some onion powder and garlic powder, and then knead it very well. And I added also some panko because I didn't have any breadcrumbs apparently. And then you make tiny little meatballs out of it. And here, in the meantime, I was thinking I'm gonna just steam some vegetables in a pan. I don't use any oils or fat, so just a little bit of water and then the lid on it, and it will steam. Then the second part of vol au vent is, of course, mushrooms. I used half a kilogram of mushrooms, and you see in the pan is some vegan butter. Now I have to use butter, otherwise it's gonna be really sticky. I added a package of chicken pieces, the meatballs, and then of course the mushrooms. The noodles are easy to make, just pour some hot water over it and cover them. And then I had my hands free to make some granola for myself. It's 4 kinds of grains with peanut butter, date paste, and then cacao powder and some hazelnuts. And later on I'm gonna bake it in the oven. Okay, the noodles were done and I'm gonna strain them. Just clean the bowl, and the oven was also ready, so the potatoes were baked and I'm putting them into the clean bowl. And here comes the marinated tofu. It will also be baked in the convection oven on 200 degrees Celsius for about 20 minutes. And then, yeah, the noodles were already cooled off. So I took 6 containers and divided the noodles into it. Yeah, not really handy with it, but it's okay. And then I'm adding some vegetables. And of course I forgot to make place for the tofu. So you will see me scrape aside that there's some place for tofu. And the vegetables I used, it was 2 bags of 400 grams, so 800 grams divided into 6 containers. Okay, and I'm gonna prepare the sauce for the vol au vent. You need vegan butter and some bouillon. but my camera went off, so that's not recorded. I already put the tofu in the containers and I had some left. Now it's time for the granola to be in the oven, and it was on 170 degrees Celsius for about 17 minutes. Convection stand, of course. Okay, the sauce was ready, so all the meat replacements could go in, and this is the result. So I put the potatoes into containers along with some vol au vent, and then, well, you will see it in a few seconds. I made also some vegetables with it. It's also steamed in the pan with a little bit of pepper and parsley. Okay, I was also busy with some tempeh. We love our tempeh bacon. Well, Xander and I do. So I was preparing well, how was it? 1.5 kilograms. So a small container in the freezer and one in the fridge for next week. This is the result of the baked granola, and the noodles already cooled off to go into the freezer. And here's proof that I add vegetables to my son's lunch. Okay, I'm writing on top what's inside, but nobody's gonna read it, and nobody will be able to read it because my handwriting sucks. So it will be a discovery for them. No kidding. I can read it. And this is Friday. I'm gonna cut up some potatoes like French fries, but they will be baked in the oven. We're gonna eat them on Saturday when they come home. So I'm gonna repeat myself, season them, put them in the oven on convection stand, 200 degrees Celsius for 20-25 minutes. And tonight we're gonna eat some scrambled tofu and an egg substitute that I don't like, but my husband does. So I'm gonna make it for him, and here I'm cutting up some shallots for the scrambled tofu. I wanted to prepare the green beans first, so I cut up some onion, and then I will make the beans with the onion into the large pot. And in the back you see the blender, and that's some chocolate mousse for my children. Well, and here are some more potatoes for puree. And this is the egg substitute that I don't like. And some kale I made into the oven, and then it's time for the marinated tempeh. It's gonna take 3 times to bake all that tempeh. In the left pan is the scrambled tofu, and here I'm struggling with the omelette I wanted to make, but it doesn't work. I don't know why, but I ended up scrambling it. So everything is finally done. I made the puree in an Instant Pot. It's super easy. I cannot live without my Instant Pot anymore. And here are the green beans. They're not brown, they're not mushy, they're just fine, perfect. I also made some gravy. It's just a powdered gravy. I didn't want to start a whole batch of gravy for just 9 containers. In total, I made 25 lunches, 9 containers with puree and green beans and then crispy chicken, 6 with noodles and tofu, and then 10 with vol au vent. I hope my children will like it, but I'm pretty sure they will. Here is the crispy chicken. I only got 6, but I'm gonna divide it into 9 containers. Don't worry, my kids get meals at home also. Don't worry, they will not starve. Okay, and it's done. This is the end result. If you would like to see more videos like this, please say it in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe and like. See you next time.